So good evening, everybody. Welcome. Thank you for being here. My name is Robert Cabral. I'm a professor of business and accounting here at Oxnard College, and it's my pleasure and my duties here to welcome you here to our second annual YEA graduation. So thank you very much for your attendance. So tonight, it's a special day for parents and significant others, as well as our graduates too as well, where they've culminated over 6 to 7 months of learning about how to create a business. And we'll share some tidbits with you along the way. But tonight's special for them because it's their time now to celebrate all the hard work they've done, all the efforts they put into the work of spending up to 3 hours on a weekly basis every Tuesday to come out here to Oxnard College and to learn about business. And so what I'm going to be doing for you tonight, I'm going to be your Masters of Ceremonies, and I'm going to introduce our guest speakers as well as introduce our graduates for tonight. But before I start, I think it's apropos for me to also introduce my partner, my co-facilitator for the YEA program, is Ms. Susan LaFay.
Thank you.
So over the last 7 to 8 months, Susan and I had the pleasure to work with your kids, and they were what's the best word? They were unbelievable. They were unbelievable in so many different ways. They went from identifying their own idea, making that idea a concept, and then trying to make that concept a business concept to tie it to commerce. And they were challenged to determine if that idea they originally came up with themselves could be something that would actually generate a profit. And so over their journey, they spent much time researching their project, identifying various competitors within our marketplace to see if there was any type of similarities, identifying opportunities, identifying the price of either product or service that they plan to deliver, and successfully coming up in front of some business panel experts. And that's what you're seeing behind us, where they're actually pitching for 2 to 3 months worth of working capital for their business. And from the investor pitch, that one thing that you have to hear is that from the investor pitch, our students were awarded up to a little less than $7,000. Now, that may not sound like a lot of money to start a business, but that's to start approximately 14 to 16 businesses. And with that, if you looked at their financial plans, that small startup of capital of that 6 to 7,000 amongst the 14 to 16 businesses will generate approximately 3 times that amount in the county of Ventura. So talk about the multiplier effect. These businesses continue to go forward. They will be very prosperous, and not only prosperous for the students themselves because they've learned a lot of business concepts, but they're also giving back to the community in a lot of different ways. They're creating a GMP for Oxnard, for the county of Ventura, and they're producing a lot of profitability. So very fast. So we have to give our students a round of applause for that. So what I want to do is, before we start, I want to, or as we start, I want to go ahead and start thanking our sponsors for those who made this all happen. We've always talked about entrepreneurialism to be an ecosystem where entrepreneurs, just like this program, is very dependent on various individuals within and institutions within our community for us to exist. And so we'd like to give thanks to our sponsors, and those include the Oxnard College STEM Initiative, the Oxnard Chamber of Commerce, Southern California Edison, Procter & Gamble, Citizens Bank, Business Bank, the Oxnard College Foundation for Economic and Economic Development. That's actually the Oxnard Foundation for Education and Economic Development, and the Dr. Stephen R. Lefebvre Educational Foundation. And we also like to thank all our parents and families for all that you've done for our young entrepreneurs. And thank you for not only the time, but spending or students for spending your mornings, your afternoons, and evenings, and even weekends with us as we're putting together our business plan. So thank you very much to those sponsors. Can we give them a round of applause, please? It would also be important for us to also thank our supporters that made our second year cohort so successful. And those have been our distinguished speakers. Throughout the program, our students have had the opportunity to have and hear from various featured speakers, featured business professionals amongst our community. Fabulous mentors and volunteers. One of our mentors is here right now, Cynthia Quintero. Can you please stand up? She is a business student. Our STEM staff, our Oxnard College staff and faculty, the College Foundation was supported as well as our Oxnard Police Department. And so, it would also be very apropos to make sure that we also thank Bob Allen. Bob Allen has been very valuable not only as a mentor resource, but also he's been handling quite a bit of our video work throughout our program. So thank you very much, everyone. So, as we move forward, we mentioned that, or I mentioned to you that entrepreneurship is really an ecosystem where we're so dependent, and a lot of our young business entrepreneurs were understanding that a lot of times you can't create a business on your own. You have to depend on a lot of other individuals, a lot of resources, and a lot of community stakeholders. It's my great pleasure now to introduce a very important stakeholder for the city of Oxnard. And I would like to call up Ms. Nancy Lindholm, our President and CEO of the Oxnard Chamber of Commerce, who will give us some words to our entrepreneurs and our guests. Thank you, Nancy.
Thank you. It is fabulous to be here this evening. What an accomplishment. Congratulations. Great job. And congratulations to the parents, too. I know you've invested time and energy and some extra carpooling and trips over the college here, so thank you so much. I just want to let you know that I really admire all of you who have made the commitment to the Young Entrepreneurs Academy and who have stuck with it. I wanted to let you know that you will have a great advantage over your peers in high school. As you finish your education, you will enter your professional lives with the knowledge and experience of not only how to get a job, but also how to create your own job and to create jobs for others. And that helps the quality of life in our city of Oxnard. So I am so proud of all of you. Ms. Lefebvre has been keeping me up to date with how you're progressing with your businesses. And I am going to be very anxious to see when you get your businesses launched. And we'd love to have you as a member of the Chamber of Commerce. We'll come and do a ribbon cutting for you. How's that? Thank you so much and congratulations.
Thank you, Nancy. So before we welcome up our student representatives, in addition to the curriculum that our students went through, this is a typical program book that our young entrepreneurs had endured over the last 6 or 7 months. And here included in this is all the element in creating a business plan, understanding the financing of their business, and all the research so they could be comfortable in actually presenting in front of an investment panel. But our program just didn't stop there. We also focused quite a bit, Susan and myself, on our soft skills. And soft skills included not just knowing about the financial aspects of your organization, but how to meet and greet people, how to shake their hand, how to tie a tie for some of the guys here, right? And how to present themselves in amongst business professionals. And so, and we have to make sure, we have to let you know that they were so successful at that too as well. So if there's any takeaway that our students will have is not only they're going to have the chops of understanding business, but they're going to have a lot of the qualitative skills that so many employers are looking for these days. Communication skills, to be critical thinkers, understanding what a business plan is, and most importantly, how to read a financial statement. So these are great elements that they'll take away. So, but enough about hearing from me and our program. It gives me great pleasure to bring up our two student representatives. I would like to introduce to you Carmela Gonzalez and Edward Carrillo.
Hello everybody, my name is Edward Carrillo,
And my name is Carmela Gonzalez.
and we're here to share a little bit of our experience here in the YEA program. As when I started in the YEA program, I did not know how to do a business plan, or I also was a little bit nervous when I came to presenting in front of so many people, or to speaking. And the YEA program helped me develop, to master more on those skills and get better.
I too had a similar experience with not knowing what to expect from YEA, but with attending YEA with our professors, they really helped us out in figuring out what it took to start a business, and even students like us and practically anyone in the room right now has what it takes to start a business. You just need the passion, the drive, and a little help from people who know how to do it.
Our presence. So thank you for letting us participate in this program
And thank you, parents, for supporting us in every step of our way.
and dropping us off early.
So Susan has been such the best right arm, but now she's on my left-hand side. And so she always keeps me on track. The best quality that I could tell you about Susan during our program is I always tell her, I got this, I know what to do. And I tell you, she's going to come here right now and tell me what I missed. And so let me bring out Susan LaFave. Come on up. Okay, so what we want to do next is recognize our young entrepreneurs, and then we have a special recognition for 3 entrepreneurs afterwards. But I wonder if we should talk about the national, because I don't know.
Should we talk about the
Should we
national?
talk about the national?
Should we talk
Put them on the
about?
spot.
Should we talk about pizza parties?
Sure.
Should we talk about long phone calls in the middle of the night, Texas, saying, "What about this? Should I add this to my business plan?" Okay.
Let's talk about the student who came to work on their business plan and he knew he was sick, but he wanted to be here, and he ended up coming and he fell asleep on our couch.
Yeah.
We had to wake him
Or-
up after 2 hours.
Excuse me, 2 hours. And we'd run in there. I don't want to name names, but Pedro in the front row right here went to the bathroom, got sick, came back and said, "No, I'm working on my business plan. I can't leave." So.
And he snored on the couch.
He's snoring. It was kind of embarrassing. But we actually have incredible stories about each one of these wonderful young people that are here today. Nancy mentioned it, and I think you did too, Robert. This was an aggressive program. People, if your parents or friends, you know, your family members came or worked at home on weekends, nights on vacation, during school vacation. I literally did get little texts at 10 o'clock. Lisette, where are you? Got one from 1 o'clock. Let's see, Marlene, where are you? So, but we just, the last few weeks of doing their business plans for the competition, we said whatever you need. But these are fantastic young people. The commitment that they had really blew me away. It made Robert and I want to work even harder with them. So I want to congratulate the parents, particularly, and the friends that supported them. What they have done, we had this huge competition and that we had 2 of our students. And by the way, could I have Schmatt please stand up for a moment? These were our students that won our competition. Let's give them a round of applause. So those 2 members of our cohort represented YEA Oxnard. They were chosen by our investment panel, which Nancy and the Oxnard Chamber of Commerce put together, and the competition was stiff. There wasn't a business or student in here that really didn't have the talent to attend, so it was a really tough competition. The 2 girls, I flew with them, and what happens in Rochester, girls, stays in Rochester, right? So it's called the Saunders Young Entrepreneurs Semifinal Competition. It is a national competition. It has over 60 different chambers and other places that have YEA compete to see who the 6 businesses that will then go on to Washington, D.C. So we were very fortunate and feel very honored that we had Schmatt represent us. This was at the Rochester Institute of Technology, which is kind of a little bit like MIT. It's a very polished institution. The girls got to go up and down and go to business workshops. We were fully involved, and all these people that are in engineering and all the people that go to the Rochester Institute of Technology are people that create new patents. They're people that create new ways of doing business. It's a really hot, it's almost like a think tank. And the girls felt right at home there. And I remember Marlene said to me, kind of like an hour in, she goes, I think I'd like to go to this school. And I thought, wow, Marlene, you could go to that school. So the girls represented us very, very well in Rochester, New York. And their business received rave reviews. They had to present their business in front of a panel of 4 experts. They were people who had large corporations or who had patents of their own of successful products. I was nervous, and I wasn't even giving the presentation. But the girls went up there and did an excellent job. But I'd like to say again, it could have been any of you going. I watched every single, I only missed 1 set. While you were doing yours, we had another set we didn't get to see. We saw at least 45 businesses, and I thought to myself, any one of the students in our cohort could have been there. Your businesses and the way you did them, your speaking skills, your acumen with business, the way you worked together, those creative ways you looked at your business. Any of you, I thought any of them could have been up there. In fact, I almost raised my hand one time and said, you know, I think any of my folks could have been there. So, but I didn't embarrass you that way, but you were terrific. So the Rochester was very, very important. The other thing I would like to tell you that it has been a stellar and exciting year, and we've already said much about the people that supported this program. But I wanted to repeat again how diligent these students were in their endeavors. Once they were like dogs with a bone. Once they got to that bone, they would not let go. When they had an idea, they stuck with it. Like, for example, Glurzies. Glurzies, raise your hand. Brandon's coming in late. Very good. With Glurzies, they had an experiment they were doing with glow-in-the-dark t-shirts, athletic material that people could use while playing soccer as the light diminishes. How many times did you try? 3 or 4 prototypes. They're still working on the formula, but they didn't give up. They just keep going. So the diligence of this group was incredible. And parents and friends, I want to compliment you because there isn't a student here that did not act in an extremely professional way whenever we had guests, or when we were out in public places, yes, you could tell them from the other professionals. You know why? Because they were even more professional in the way they related to people than some of the people that we saw in some of the settings. You should feel very proud, and I can tell that that's not just from us working with the students and them, but that is also from all of you. So you have done a fantastic job. So we once again thank all of you. We're excited for your accomplishments, and so now I think we're going to go on and maybe talk about some people that need to be recognized.
Okay. So what you see behind us is actually copies of the investor panel presentations, and I apologize if it's going a little fast for us, but these are common elements that all of our students here had to present to our investor panel. And so what you're seeing is all the research that they culminated and put together in order for them to request 2 to 3 months worth of working capital. And so you'll get a chance to see various programs or various companies throughout our program being highlighted here. So should we do the special recognition? Okay. So before we award and confer our certificates, we want to recognize 3 YEA students for their diligence and their commitment and their loyalty and their hard efforts, and think of some other good words. And nothing else to do on Tuesday, for them to have 100% attendance rates. And so we want to recognize those 3 individuals, and we have a token, and a small token of appreciation on our behalf. And so the 3 individuals are.
Would you come up when you
Can you please come up, please? Pedro Estrada, please come up. Carla, can you please come up? And Naomi, can you please come up?
Well, this is a group of young entrepreneurs. So we made a wager. We first asked them, what would you rather have? $10, $50, $200? What do you think their answer was? $200. $200, and you were right. If they said $200, and how about that 1,000? I believe Edward Clark said that. Hey, what about 1,000? So we said, well, I don't have 1,000 in my pocket, but I'll make you a bet. If any of you attend our normally scheduled meetings, not that overwork because everybody did that, then we'll give you $50. You're a business person, right? And you know what I said? I said, I'm not going to be paying anybody $50. Everybody's going to miss one. You know what? It didn't happen. Those 3 right there, they came to every single session. So you each get. Pedro when he was sick. Yeah, even Pedro, unfortunately, when he was sick. So they all 3 got $50.
Okay. So. You take the sheet and we'll call you back up again.
We'll call you back up.
Okay. All right. So it's our great pleasure now to introduce our entrepreneurs.
Are they here? Are they ready?
Are they ready? You ready, folks? Okay. So.
You may take your cameras out.
So what we'll do, entrepreneurs, as we call your name up, we'll just have you come up through the stage. Be careful here, and you could exit off on that side too as well. And all right, so our first young entrepreneur academy graduate is Ernesto Alcantar. Ernesto is from Channel Islands High School. Thank you for reminding me. And by the way, each of our graduates tonight will have the option to say a few words if they're willing to. And so the podium is yours. Would you like to say some words? No more than 2 minutes.
Okay. Well, first of all, I just wanted to thank the YEA staff for helping me and for helping all of us develop our business plans and turning our business ideas into a reality. Thank you all of my YEA peers for welcoming me into the program and for being good friends along the way. Thank you, Carmela, for being such a good partner and for helping me understand our whole business and everything. So yeah, just wanted to say thank you for everything. And that's it.
So graduates, you have the podium time if you'd like to make any last parting comments. Our next entrepreneur is from YEA High School, and this is Moises Kyle.
Saying thank you to all my friends and to Susan and Robert, and especially my brother and my dad for always bringing me, and to my friends who always supported me. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Our next entrepreneur is from Channel Islands High School, and by the way, I should mention our businesses too. So I failed on. He's the CEO of Forecast Price, and this is Edward Cadillo.
I want to say thank you for the YA program, for the professors for taking their time, and for my sister and my grandma that are right here to support me. Thank you.
Okay. Our next entrepreneur is from Channel Islands High School, and she is the co-CEO of Schmatt, and this is Lizette Casares.
Well, I just wanted to thank the YEA staff for helping us out with the WAVE program, and to all my friends, and to Marlene for sticking with me and making our business a success. Well, it's going to be a success, hopefully.
Okay. Our next student, entrepreneur, is from Vista Real Charter School. He is the CEO of Spartan Athletics, and it's Roberto Sendas.
Thank you to everybody who helped us out. I know I was gone for a couple of weeks. I was out of the country. We got back together. And thank you to Caesar for helping me out at school personally too, and then Robert for helping us doing it with the phone calls. Thank you very much.
So just to let everybody know what our students are receiving. They're receiving 2 items. One is a great certificate, and from the graciousness of Oxnard of Lexus, those are keys to Lexus vehicles outside for them. Just Lexus can come in. Okay. Starbucks should come. Okay, so our next candidate entrepreneur is from Channel Islands High School. He's the CEO of Juicy Vibes, and this is Pedro Estrada.
Well, first off, I want to say thank you to my teachers. You know, without them, I wouldn't be getting to the position where I want to be. And the fact that I'm getting closer to music is just really unbelievable. I want to thank everybody, all my friends from the YEA program. It's been an honor being with you guys, and I hope one day we gotta hang out when you guys are all famous, right? Don't be acting too stuck-up. I want to thank my girlfriend. She's been there for me all the time, helping me out, making decisions. And yeah, I mean, it's been really a blessing being here. Thank you.
Yeah, without Pedro, we would have been sick on Wednesday.
Yeah, we were sick all day.
We're not gonna let that go. So, our next entrepreneur isn't here yet, he's on his way. But let me bring up the co-CEO of this company. And the company is Glurzies. And Asa, why don't you come up to accept? Yeah?
Yeah, good plan.
This is Asa Lopez. Yeah, why don't you come up twice?
This is for the hands,
Yeah.
Yeah, unless you're gonna take it, okay.
I don't know if Brandon would have said, but neither, so.
Actually, Brandon would have said the same thing, right? All right, our next entrepreneur is from Pacifica High School. This individual is the CEO of Book Lovers, Naomi Galindo.
I would like to say thank you to Susan and Robert because they taught me how to address many strangers, and I hope you guys can hear me. I would like to say thank you to everyone. You've been amazing to work with, and thank you for everything.
Our next entrepreneur is from Fremont Intermediate School. He's one of our middle schoolers, and he comes from Fremont. He is a CEO of Get Ready, or Ready, Set, Go, and it's Elijah Gill. There he is. He looks. There's two of us. We couldn't have planned it.
I want to say thank you to the staff and my fellow peers from the Entrepreneurs Academy. You really helped me grow and inspire me to do something that I love.
Our next entrepreneur is from Chalmers High School, and she is the co-CEO of SOS, Carmela Gonzalez.
I don't think there are enough words in the dictionary to really describe the gratitude that I feel towards Robert, Miss LaFay, Bob back there, Ernesto for being my partner, and my parents for taking us to all the YEA meetings every single Tuesday, well, almost every Tuesday, and the other days that we were needed to be here. So I just really want to express my utmost gratitude to you guys and Marvin.
Thank you.
Aren't they good? It's like, oh my God. No, don't leave us. Okay. Our next entrepreneur is the CEO of Get Started, and he is from Ocean View Junior High School. This is Toby Gonzalez.
I'd just like to thank everyone for being here, and Susan for taking time out of her social life to help us, and Robert for being there for us to help us with our business plan. Without him, we wouldn't have been where we were at. And all of my peers for being there for me and helping me out along the way. and my parents for always driving me here and taking time out of their social lives to help us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Gene. Our next entrepreneur is from Pacifica High School. This is Manuel Lira. Manuel is on his way to completing the program. He's very close to finishing up, and Susan and I will be working with him soon.
I just want to thank Robert and Susan for helping me hopefully accomplish this pretty soon, and Bob too for influencing me in my main decisions.
Thank you.
All right, so Asa, I'm going to have you come up again. This is Asa again from YEA High School, the co-CEO of Glursies.
Well, thank you, Susan, Robert, Bobovic, and all I can say is, even though I haven't grown much in height, I've grown in my business. Thank
Our next entrepreneur is a co-owner of Couple Cakes, attends Channel Islands High School, Giovanni Lopez.
Thank you to all my teachers. Thank you to my partner Claudia and my family and Claudia's family. Thank you.
Our next entrepreneur is the owner of Your Best Friend, attends Channel Islands High School. This is Jacqueline Patricio.
I would like to thank my teachers, Ms. Lopez and Robert, and also my business and finance teacher who encouraged me to do this program and always was there for their students, Ms. Powers. Thank you. That's good.
Our next CEO is an entrepreneur, is the owner of Galaxy Bake, attends Rio Mesa High School. I would like to introduce Carla Phillips.
I would like to thank Susan LaFay for helping me so much and having like extremely long phone calls with me. Sorry, Caesar, my phone bill probably went up during that time, like probably 3 hours for a phone call. And I'd like to thank Robert Cabral for helping me with my finances. And I'd like to thank Caesar and Gina for bringing me here, and my mom and dad for getting me supplies such as the baking pans and other stuff to bake, and everybody here. Thank you.
Our next entrepreneur is the co-CEO of Schmatt, and she attends Channel Islands High School. This is Marlene Reyes.
my friends and parents.
All right, our next individual is a co-owner of Couple Cakes. She attends Channel Islands High School as well. This is Claudia Cimental.
I would just like to thank my partner and my parents and Giovanni's parents for bringing them here, and also all the YEA participants also. Thank you.
All right, and our next entrepreneur is the owner of Rebeautify Upholstery. She attends Channel Islands High School. This is Yasmin Velasco.
The YEA has been a second home. Literally, at least spent more than, was it a week or two? From 8 to 9, and I've grown strong relationship with many of you, and I gotta thank the YEA staff for making this a reality. I want to thank my parents, especially my dad. And yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, we are terribly, terribly proud of these young people in front of us. What they're going to do is very, very exciting. I do want to take a moment to just again talk about two very special support systems for this program. The Oxnard Chamber of Commerce received a very substantial STEM grant for our program this year. And that grant made all the difference in us being able to spend additional time with your students and to have the expertise of Robert Cabral available to us. It had such an impact on our program that on the national level, people are talking at YEA National about your students and the STEM initiative with YEA. So STEM is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Of course, the mathematics are included in the financial planning, but whenever we could, we had people with a science background, technology background, engineering background, or mathematics background come in and speak with our students about their business interest. We also this year were privileged to have a few students from engineering academies as well as business and finance academies, as well as students in other areas of our academic programs throughout our school district, Ocean View School District, Rio School District, and Vista Real. So we're very pleased. And the person that truly pulled that grant together for us was Dr. Cynthia Herrera, who is on the executive board of the chamber. She is also a dean here at Oxnard College. She is educator extraordinaire, and the students know her. So if anybody ever sees her out in the world, please shake her hand, because it made all the difference for us this year. I also like to reiterate that this program is an initiative of the Oxnard Chamber of Commerce. The Oxnard Chamber of Commerce Executive Board, their Education Committee, and Nancy Lindholm, who is the President and CEO of the Chamber, who, by the way, is the person who brought this program to Oxnard. They are all the backbone of this program. It is through the efforts of Nancy and her team back at the Chamber of Commerce. That's where we get all these incredible people to work with your students, and also from Robert Cabral, all of his incredible contacts that he has. So we truly appreciate, Nancy, all of that. And the students and I were talking about it before we even came in. So I hope that you will bring back to your committees just how important we feel their efforts have been on our behalf. And I know my students are going to, before this evening is done, go over and shake Nancy's hand and thank her again for this support. Thank you.
So thank you, Susan. And we're ready to close in because we want to allow you some special time with the graduates. We do have some snacks and some, should we talk about where the pastries came from?
Oh, the cake, I ate the cake. There's no cake over there.
Never mind.
There's no cupcakes over there.
Oh, never mind.
They were too big, we ate them. No, just teasing. So, we had 2 bakery businesses, and I would love our bakery businesses to stand up. So in case you want to make an order, Couples Cakes, will you stand up, please? And Galaxy Bake, would you stand up? 2 cakes, which are for you to enjoy, are from Couples Cakes. Would you please tell us what flavors those are?
It's a banana chocolate chip cake with a buttercream frosting.
Very good. And our cupcakes are from Galaxy Bake. Could you tell us a little bit about your cupcakes?
They're vanilla cupcakes with cream cheese frosting, and they're colored as a galaxy.
Great.
So just a couple of closing words before we get to our refreshments. Again, I want to thank all our sponsors, our support staff, the Oxnard College STEM Center, the Oxnard Chamber of Commerce for the support. If we didn't mention enough, this is our 2nd year cohort that we've had with YEA, and it becomes such an incredible experience for Susan and myself every year about this time as we see our young entrepreneurs move forward. We know that most of our entrepreneurs will most likely go to a 4-year college. They may stop by here along the way. And so, but we also know that they're going to become their own business owners or joiners of a specific large organization. And so I just have to tell the parents here and the relatives that we would be deeply honored to have any one of these individuals work for us when they're ready. We would be deeply honored to work for them when they start their business. Seriously, we mean that. I have 2 little boys that will be ready for work as soon as you start your company. So continue focusing on your passion and what you want to do, and thank you on behalf of Susan and myself for letting us be part of your journey. And we hope to read about you very soon in the Wall Street Journal. So thank you everybody for being here tonight. Please join us on some refreshments, celebrate our graduates, and have a great night. Thank you.